want to post a comment here in reference to something that was posted on Facebook. Someone had posted a bunch of pictures of refrigerants that are now no longer available. Someone has stockpiled them. They probably got them at a sale for a tremendous price. To my knowledge, most of them can be replaced. They're like R500 and 134A are probably pretty close to the same pressure temperature range. You could probably use 134A with some slight system modifications. I would try that first, but the last R500 unit I worked on was probably late 80s, early 90s, somewhere in there. You can't buy R500 anymore. There's a bunch of them. You can't buy 12. Last 12 cylinder I saw back in the early 90s was about $700 for a 30-pound drum. I can remember you buy that stuff for $20. But anyway, when it relates to methyl chloride stories, now methyl chloride goes back before my time, but it was used during World War II as a replacement for R12. Now, my father had told me one time he was working on a piece of equipment, a small reach-in cabinet, like a meat display case or something, that had methyl chloride in it. He thought he had it pumped down, which was still a little bit in the line. And he woke up. He didn't know how long he was knocked out, but he woke up with his wrenches. He was going to change the expansion valve on it. He woke up with the wrenches on his chest. The stuff had knocked him out. He's lucky because the methyl chloride has been known to kill people. It's dichloromethane is what it is. Like I said, it was used as a substitute, during World War II when you couldn't get 12. R12 goes back to the 1930s, but they banned it. They said it was destroying the ozone layer back in the early 90s, but now another unit. I was working with my dad on a piece of equipment. This was a belt-driven compressor that you could take the head off of it. And I don't remember what was wrong with it, but my father had pumped it down and then pulled the head off of it. And the two pistons were copper plated. The aluminum pistons in there. The two pistons were copper plated. My father looked at me and this had Freon 12 at the time. My father looked at me and he said, "You know what that means?" And I said, "No, not really." But what methyl chloride would do, if it got water in the system, it would start stripping copper off of the refrigeration lines, and it would plate it on the aluminum parts, and that's what it did. The system had methyl chloride in it at one time. Another refrigerant to use was sulfur dioxide. I worked on a few refrigerators that use sulfur dioxide. These go back maybe the 30s or 40s. Before 12 got real popular. Everything from mid 40s to early 90s was R12. For refrigerators, car air conditioning, stuff like that was R12, and the R12 temperature range is pretty much going to 134A. But trying to remember if I had any. I've got dozens of stories I could tell, but those will kind of match up with that Facebook page. But yeah, I go back to the time when R12 was pretty common. So I remember when a lot of equipment used it, but that stuff is either gone to 134A or R404. A lot of stuff, even medium temperature stuff, is R404. It gets a pretty decent refrigerant, but so as soon as DuPont loses a patent on something, they find something wrong with it, and they gotta have it banned. But the name of the game is making money. Okay, bye bye.